So, if you're new here, welcome. I know I've gotten quite a few subscribers in the last couple of weeks, so I'm really thrilled that y'all are liking my videos and wanting to stick around and see more of them. Today it is almost Midsummer's Day, and I had to make a video about one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, A Midsummer Night's Dream. And specifically, I wanted to talk about, what is midsummer and why is it significant to A Midsummer Night's Dream? Midsummer is June 24th, which means that if you're watching this video the day that it goes up, it'll be tomorrow. Midsummer is shortly after the summer solstice, which actually seems a little bit odd because on our calendars today we mark the summer solstice as the beginning of summer. But traditionally it was viewed as the middle of the summer. This was because it's a turning point where the days are no longer going to be getting longer, they're actually going to be getting shorter as we head towards autumn. We don't really do very much for midsummer now, but in Elizabethan England it was a holiday that people celebrated, and it was pretty important. Elizabethan society typically had pretty strict social norms, but midsummer was a time for kind of letting loose and having a little bit of fun. There would be drinking, dancing. It would be kind of similar to May Day, which takes place about a month and a half before. However, while midsummer was widely celebrated during Shakespeare's time, it was a little bit controversial. There were some people in the church who felt like maybe this isn't something that we should be doing, and over time it lost popularity, particularly in urban areas. The play doesn't directly relate to Midsummer the holiday, and in fact there are several references in it to the rites of May and things that imply that it may take place around May Day as well, which, as I mentioned before, was somewhat of a similar holiday. But it certainly does make sense that the sort of wild, festive, celebratory play that is A Midsummer Night's Dream would be linked with a holiday that was very much in a similar vein. This reminds me of another one of Shakespeare's comedies, Twelfth Night. It's not really set in Twelfth Night when the events of the play are taking place, however, the title is a reference to Twelfth Night, otherwise known as Epiphany, which was the end of the Christmas season in Elizabethan England. If you're familiar with the song The 12 Days of Christmas, I think that a lot of people usually think of that as the 12 days leading up to Christmas ending in Christmas Day, but actually that would be the time from Christmas to Epiphany, which takes place in early January and represented the wise men visiting Jesus as a child. Much like Midsummer, Twelfth Night was a much more significant holiday in the Elizabethan era than it is today. And the play is named after it, but it doesn't necessarily have an impact on the plot. However, it's another one that the events of the play do seem to fit well with the idea of it being connected to a holiday. It's one of those very much like A Midsummer Night's Dream that has a lot of hilarious miscommunications and mistaken identities, all leading up to several marriages and a happily ever after. Anyway, I just think it's very interesting that Shakespeare's plays sometimes do reference holidays that are no longer really a big deal anymore, but were celebrated during the time that he was writing his plays. A Midsummer Night's Dream definitely works just as an idea of, this happened sometime in the summer and it was almost like a dream, but I think it's also really interesting to know that it was originally connected to Midsummer's Day, which was celebrated around the time of the summer solstice.